Mia couldn't tear her eyes away. Jamal. His presence filled the room, his energy a palpable force. Every cell in her body vibrated with a desire she couldn't ignore, a longing that left her breathless. His laughter, deep and resonant, sent shivers down her spine. Her gaze lingered on his hands, strong and capable, imagining their touch. The air between them crackled with unspoken tension, a silent acknowledgement of the simmering heat. Mia's heart pounded against her ribs, a frantic rhythm echoing the urgency in her veins. She wanted him, craved him with an intensity that both thrilled and terrified her. The room seemed to shrink, the distance between them an unbearable chasm she ached to bridge. His eyes met hers, a knowing smile playing on his lips. In that instant, the world outside their bubble ceased to exist. All that mattered was the raw, undeniable connection binding them together. It was a look that spoke volumes, a silent promise of a pleasure so intense it bordered on pain. His touch sent a jolt through her, electricity dancing along her skin where his fingers brushed against hers. Jamal's eyes never left Mia's, his gaze holding hers captive as he raised her hand to his lips. A gasp escaped her lips as he grazed her knuckles with a kiss, sending a surge of heat straight to her core. "You're so beautiful," he murmured, his voice husky with desire. Mia's breath hitched. Jamal. His name was a prayer, a plea for something she couldn't articulate. The space between them evaporated as he drew her closer, his hands finding their way to her waist, pulling her in. Mia's fingers tangled in his shirt, holding on as if he were her lifeline. His scent enveloped her, a heady mix of musk and something uniquely him, making her lightheaded. "Tell me what you want," he whispered, his breath warm against her ear. Her inhibitions, usually so carefully constructed, crumbled under the intensity of his gaze. "You," she breathed, her voice barely a whisper. "I want you, Jamal." His lips crashed onto hers, silencing any further words with a kiss that was both demanding and tender. Mia melted into him, her body arching instinctively closer, seeking more of his touch. His hands roamed her curves, possessive and hungry, igniting a fire that spread like wildfire through her veins. Every touch was electric, every caress a symphony of sensation that left her gasping for air. Mia clung to him, her fingers digging into his shoulders as the kiss deepened, becoming a desperate primal dance of tongues and teeth. His taste was intoxicating, addictive, fueling the fire raging between them. "You feel so good," he groaned against her lips, his words muffled by her skin. She wanted to be closer, to lose herself in the heat of their connection. Her hands moved restlessly, exploring the hard contours of his body beneath his shirt, feeling the heat of his skin against hers. Section 4. Surrender and Desire. Jamal's hands were everywhere, pulling her closer, urging her towards the precipice of something both terrifying and exhilarating. He lifted her effortlessly, his touch sure and strong, as he lowered her onto the plush surface of the sofa. Mia's heart hammered against her ribs, her blood singing with anticipation. He hovered above her, his gaze intense, searching hers for any sign of hesitation. He found none. All she felt was the overwhelming need to surrender to the storm of emotions he stirred within her. His fingers traced the line of her jaw, sending shivers down her spine. "You're sure?" he asked, his voice rough with passion. But there was a tenderness in his eyes that melted her heart. Mia tugged at his shirt, pulling him closer. "Yes," she breathed, her voice filled with an urgency she couldn't contain. "Please, Jamal." Section 5. Lost in the moment. The world outside their embrace faded into oblivion as their bodies moved together, a symphony of touch and sound, each movement a testament to the raw, primal desire that consumed them. Mia lost herself in the intoxicating whirlwind of sensations, each touch igniting a wildfire in her veins. Jamal's name escaped her lips in a gasp, a prayer, a plea for more. He responded with a ferocity that stole her breath away, his touch both demanding and tender, a potent mix that left her craving every touch, every sound, every taste. Time ceased to exist as they moved together, their bodies a blur of limbs tangled in sheets, their breaths mingling in the space between them. Each touch was a revelation, each kiss a promise whispered against her skin. Mia had never felt so alive, so connected, her body and soul bared to his touch. It was a dance on the edge of a knife, a dizzying blend of pleasure and pain, and she wouldn't have it any other way. Section 6. Breathless Afterglow. The world slowly swam back into focus, the aftershocks of their passion still reverberating through her body. Mia lay nestled against Jamal, his warmth enveloping her like a comforting blanket. Her breath hitched in her chest, the air thick with satisfaction, the scent of their lovemaking lingering in the air. She felt his lips on her forehead, a soft, lingering kiss that spoke volumes. Opening her eyes, she met his gaze, the intensity softened with a tenderness that made her chest ache with affection. In the aftermath of their passionate dance, a profound sense of peace washed over her. Words failed her, the intensity of the experience defying description. "Incredible," Jamal breathed, his voice husky with contentment. He gently brushed a stray strand of hair from her face, his touch sending shivers down her spine. Curled up against him, Mia knew this was more than just physical. It was a connection that ran deep, a shared experience that had forged an unbreakable bond between them.